Hey people, Ingrid here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Angstrom Heights and Space Marines versus those Chaos fellas. For the blue Space Marine team, the Tenso with a Tech Marine starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage and has some good versatility and support with structures, can also repair. Alongside, Gats with a Force Commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Some good old Blood Ravens here. Rounding off the team is Lieberwurst with an Apothecary. Is that a sausage or something? Support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. The Ultramarines DLC. Red team, it's triple Plague Champions. It's not even my birthday. You have Tunnel Snake here with Night Lord's Elite Scheme. Pedro with Iron Warriors Elite Scheme. Triple Heretics too. And Ural with some sparkly green. These guys start off with a damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Pedro's been forced off the mid. Heretics backing off. Double scouts in play for Gats. Double scouts into the tack, so they came up first, which might suggest aggressive double shotgun play. Don't see any yet. They do have the 18 power. Some Nurgle worship here for Ural. Nurgle worship gives you 10 health per second regen, which is pretty damn nice, and 15 health for demons, which is more than other worships give to demons. It's a cool change for Elite mod. They also changed it so that vehicles benefit from your Nurgle worship, which is also a great change. Force Commander getting stuck into some CSM, and all of a sudden they're on the power. 2 players on the power here. We'll see if Pedro can hold things up. They've got some grenade launcher heretics in play. Disrupted those tacks. Ural's not done yet though. Heretics in on these tacks here, but these heretics are quite low. Notice they didn't use their Doom Blast because they wanted the numbers. And now CSM come in for some melee. Chaos Space Marines do more melee damage out the gate than Tactical Marines, but Tactical Marines do have that Trap and Bolt ability, which does affect melee damage. And if they can shoot them enough running in with the Trap and Bolts, they'll maybe win the melee fight as well. Down goes the Force Commander. These tacks are very brave, and they show no fear, but they do no retreating. Tech Marine on the power kind of, but I don't think they can stay here for long. Some decent early pressure from the Space Marines, which you don't often see with their relatively light openings. But a double scouts help for Gats, and the Force Commander being around always helps with his melee and his battle crying disruption. The Tenso flees, and now might be Chaos on the power. Assault squad in play for the Tenso. They can jump these double CSM and the Plague Champion maybe. Got some Nurgle worship, but they're getting help from Pedro. So I think they're going to get the node at least. These guys are going to wait before they jump, which is smart because they just get mobbed otherwise. Is that triple grenade launcher heretics? It is. Could be awesome. Those grenades do explosive damage. Grenade launcher DPS, which I think is decent against heavy infantry. I think it has a bonus against heavy infantry. I could be wrong. But as you can see, those tactical marines do not like that. You can really pack a punch, those grenade launchers, especially tripled up. Good disruption too. CSM run. Assault squad in there. This is Gats assault squad though, and it dropped to model pretty quickly there. Maybe we'll see Plague Sword in response to the 2 assault squad they're facing down here. They're still on the power. Got the node, got one of the gens. Here comes some help from Lieberwurst. The Devastators, they got disrupted though by the grenade barrage. Oh, maybe Lieber is liver. Maybe it's liver sausage. Devastators, they go down. They go down. Nice idea from Lieberwurst. They're just trying to help, and they lose their Devastators. Tech Marine gets in using Bionics, which does increase his melee damage. He starts off with 18 DPS melee, I believe. Plague Champion starts with 8 because reasons. Always going to be annoyed about that. Plague Champion now to 65 hit points here, gets away. We've got Noise Marines up for Ural. Pedro got no other units up in tier 1, but those triple grenade launchers are doing some work. Can they parlay that into a quicker tier 2. Looks like Tunnel Snake got the tier 2 first. 472 to 390 on the VP's Assault Squad, tearing through some Heretics. I believe they're 25 DPS melee Assault Squad. 400 hit points per model, heavy infantry. They can really be bullies in tier 1. And it might be very worthwhile to get some melee plague champion stuff going on, because they tend to grow in their influence over the game Assault Squad when they're used well, of course. They get that power spike in tier 2, as a lot of squads do, when they get their squad leader and Merciless Strike. 472 to 386. Tunnel Snake calls the 2. Oh. At the top. Is there 2 up there? Guess we'll see in a second. Is this Gats? Yeah, Gats is here, power bashing with flame attacks. Got Sniper Scouts too. What's the DPS on these things? 13 DPS, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's what snipers are like. They deliver all that damage at once, so the DPS stat is a little bit misleading, which is probably why most RTS games and stuff, well, a lot of them, including Dawn of War 2, don't show you DPS stats by default, because they can be very confusing for newer players. They see a sniper rifle with 13 DPS and think it's trash. It's less DPS than a tactical marine bolt gun, I think, or about the same, but delivered from long range all at once with perfect accuracy. Don't forget that as well. Apothecary. That was his first bit of XP there he just got. I bet he wish he had purification bars right about now. Assault Squad getting mobbed by the Heretics. Purification rights would be pretty good as well. We have Chaos Dreadnought on the way for Tunnel Snake. Cacophony from the Noids Marines, knocking down, well, one of the attacks at least. Assault Squad just got a heal, I think, and they didn't drop a model. Held up really well there, but they're on the power, and attacks do drop a model, being shut down by that Sonic Blaster, disabling their ranged attacks. Does some good damage, and really good at shaking apart generators. But they're on the power here. Gats again. Done well. They were kind of getting bogged down in the south, so Gats switches and rotates to the mid and does some good work. Might get a full bash actually. Flamer, great at burning down gens, which wasn't always the case. I'm pretty sure when the game launched, Flamers were bad against generators, but it was a change made to give them more of a niche, I guess. Force Commander goes down, gets caught by a Chaos Dreadnought in melee. Starts off with an autocannon, good damage versus all targets, and that close combat claw. Not to mention the little underslung heavy bolter underneath there, which was changed in Elite mod to do like respectable damage, I believe. Double Mark of Pawn, Chaos Space Marines for Ural. Aspiring Champion up on these fellas, and on these fellas gives them the Melter Pistol. Does he do more damage though, the Aspiring Champion? Don't think he does. I know I've asked that before. It doesn't say anything in that tooltip about him, but that's not the Aspiring Champion's tooltip technically, so I think he does the same damage. Blood Crusher on the way for Pedro. Feels like kind of a late Blood Crusher, but it's not like they have a tons of anti-vehicle up this Space Marine team, but they can get anti-vehicle very quickly. Space Marine infantry is very versatile and adaptable. Got a melee Tech Marine, which is fun. Accident Mechanicum, Bionics, and Refractor Field. Very good melee build for this guy. Refractor Field, unique amongst shields in that it reduces the accuracy of firearms that are firing upon him, but it doesn't get the usual knockback immunity from it like other shields have. It's a cool little unique trait there. I like that kind of thing. Sword Squad jumping in, getting the Blastmaster Noids Marines out of there, but they'll be okay, I think. Here's the Blood Crusher. Has heavy melee damage, this guy, and does count as a demon, so benefits greatly from worship. Good DPS, good mobility. Not the best survivability though, especially since it lacks melee resistance itself. So this Force Commander Power Fist is bad news for that Blood Crusher. But he's run off 418 to 178. Big VP lead for the Space Marines, but Chaos coming out swinging in Tier 2, doing some good work. Getting a cap over here too, thanks to Tunnel Snake's Heretics. They are mobbing up in the mid and proving to be a difficult nut to crack. We've got a Razorback here for Lever Burst. Probably saying that wrong. Las Cannon on the field for the Tenso. Blood Crusher might not last too much longer. Oh, breaks line of sight. It's the Dreadnought that's going to take Las Cannon shots now. It's getting repairs from a Plague Champion. That's not his Dreadnought though, this person that's worshipping, I think. Yeah. You don't benefit from your allies' worship. Although you do benefit from their shrines. Well, you benefit from the Noble Shrine anyway. 341 to 178. Plague Champion pushing up for Oral has the Armor of Pestilence, but it's decently tanky. Blastmaster's back in play. Can they get some damage on this Razorback? Dreadnought had to back off for repairs. We'll do some decent damage to it with the autocannon. Here comes a shrine, and of course it's going to be a noble shrine because they're all Plague Champions. You can also actually worship your allies' shrines, which is cool. There was talk years ago now when Kael'thas was still in charge of the mod for giving heretics a tier 2 upgrade to dedicate them fully to a Chaos God kind of thing. Unique for each commander, obviously. So like noble heretics would be slower with more hit points and health regen and that kind of thing. Khorne heretics would be quicker with higher melee damage, maybe that kind of stuff. Maybe Tzeentch heretics would have some kind of fancy spell they could do, or maybe like an upgraded Doom Blast. That kind of stuff. And they were going to be able to build a different kind of shrine, I think. They even had the model for it. It was like a big... It's in the file somewhere. It's like a big skull head thing. Can't remember what that shrine was going to do, though. Like a second shrine they could build, like a temple. 231 to 178. Constant action in this central area here. We're going to see some Mark of Tzeentch CSM, looks like. Melter Bomb on the Blood Crusher. Some more noble worship. Double melters, I think. Yes, it was. Las Cannon's getting shots. One more shot will do it. Down it goes. Not always easy to spot when your stuff is getting shot by las cannons and beamy def guns and that kind of thing. Right lance is easy to see because it's constantly shooting. Decent Blastmaster shot. I think the Dreadnought's had it though. Force Commander's on it. It doesn't have melee resist with the autocannon. Down it goes. Las Cannon got the last shot, I believe. 181 to 178. Space Marines charging through. Tech Marine flees. Another shrine goes up. This shrine periodically heals nearby allied infantry. Suppresses enemy infantry. Down it goes. And if you worship it, you can actually reinforce off it, which is very handy for Chaos. They don't have many ways for reinforcing in the field. In fact, it's just the Noble Shrine and the Circle of Summoning for the Sorcerer, I believe, off the top of my head. Blastmaster explodes one of those tactical marines. Plasma Cannon gets a decent shot back though. Mark of Khorne CSM running through. Chaos Terminator spawning in the back lines for Tunnel Snake. Pedro goes tier 3. Tunnel Snake obviously already there. Oral floating tons of resources. A decent Noxious Cloud could be good in these back lines. Got Stone Guard veterans with Kraken bolts loaded in. Good damage to heavy infantry and heroes. Those guys can change their ammo to combat all targets. They are limited to 1 per player though. It's a cool unit added in Elite mod. Are the Terminators going to get Lightning Claws? I think they should. They're up against basically all heavy infantry aside from the scouts. Tier 3 for the Tenso. That was like a 10-minute battle that didn't end, and now it's finally ended. Felt like it anyway. Oh, can't knock down a Plague Champion when he's got Armor of Pestilence, fellas. Also has Mucus Discharge. Aura of Decay could knock them back here. There it is. Might get a cap out of it. Heals himself with Breath of Nurgle. and does get the cap. And then I think escapes. And levels as well. Well done, fella. Level 4 play champion there. What do we see? It's double mark of Zinch and double mark of Corn. Okay. Chaos Predator on the way for Pedro. There's a decent amount of space in the middle and through here for a tank to work, I think. Not too bad at the top either. Maybe gets a little bit tight around here, but nothing drastic. It's a decent tank map. Another Nurgle Shrine going up towards the mid, and we have a Plague Fist Plague Champion for Ural with Armor of Pestilence as well. It's a great capping tool this, and might really help them hold on to the central VP. Apothecary sprinting away, which means Armor of the Apothecarian is up. Also has Anointed Power Axe to drain some energy. And those Purification Rites. Plasma Cannon gets a good shot on some Terminators here. Are you guys going to worship on this corner? Tunnel Snake. Help out the Terminators. There we go. Worshipping those Terminators there. Gives them some health regen. I'm not sure. Do they have the awesome... Did they get the good health regen that the Loyalist Terminators got when they got it? I'm not sure if they did. They have less health than Loyalist Terminators out the gate. But they can all get them. You can all get the different variations of the weapons. 113 to 144. Costs more to reinforce these Terminators, but I believe they cost less upkeep than Loyalist Terminators. Las Cannon is determined to trade fire with a tank here. It is a Mark of Nurgle tank, which is fitting for Pedro. Makes it super tough. 75% more health, health regen, and melee resistance. The main gun becomes a disease-ridden Nurgle cannon with 7 flame DPS. And the bolters also get damage all the time, I believe. Yep. 91 to 144. Power bashing in northeast to steal a fully populated power. It's probably heresy to use chaos generators though, surely. 88 to 144. 2 jumps. There's a pestilent strike to stun them. Although it's bad for the Mark of Zinc CSM, it might be worth just wading them into melee here. Pestilent strike provides, is it 80%? 90%. I always think it's 80%. 90% ranged damage resistance to anything in the cloud, including enemies. So you've got to use it carefully. So you could be helping an enemy survive with it. Sometimes it's not worth getting the stun. It's worth getting the ranged damage in from everything else. And ready to Phobos up. The Tunnel Snake with those twin-linked Las Cannon side sponsors. We've also got Assault Terminators for Gats and a Venerable Dreadnought for the Tenso. Awesome stuff. There's the advanced healing from the Apothecary. Need to target this guy. Although, give yourself a melee weapon, so it's going to be a little bit easier to get at, I think. Scouts decapping mid. Libraverse down to 2 units. Predator tank on the way, though. Venerable Dreadnought seems to just be shrugging off those Nurgle Pred shots. Barely took any damage, it looked like. Doesn't tell me what the main cannon is doing now in terms of its upfront damage. Doesn't seem to be doing a huge amount to this Venerable Dreadnought. I mean, that's 1750 hit points. Phobos could get a shot, maybe? Didn't seem like it did. Is that 2 Mark of Nurgle tanks from Pedro? It is. And they've got the worship to back it up. There's that Nurgle Shrine as well. It's Ural's Shrine. And Ural is worshipping it. Here comes a melee tech marine. Getting mobbed though. Direct hit from the Phobos. 88 to 93. Very close on the VPs. What is this? Some CSM getting a decap. Space Marines still have this power. Chaos are locking down the mid though. Typically something you see Space Marine players doing. Space Marine teams. Lightning Claw, Chaos Terminator in there. Looks like touch of Nurgle's on them too. Haven't dropped a model yet though. It doesn't last forever. There we go. There's that touch of Nurgle explosion, but they are being healed by a Apothecary. Touch of Nurgle damage does scale from the the model that died health. So when the Chaos Terminators touch of Noble Explode, it's a lot of damage. I'm not sure if the heal also scales off the health of the model. Triple cap for Chaos here. There's the double 28 to 93. Terminators did cause some good havoc over there. Scouts on red team's natural, though they need to do a lot of that at the end here if they're going to survive. Down to 15 VPs. Gonna get down to 10, I think. No, 11, and they stop the counter. Missile launcher in play here. Are you going to shoot, fellas? Are they going for the cover first? And there's a melter bomb. And here comes an apothecary. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Just ran into a lot of trouble. Should have stayed back, I think. Oh no, someone got sound bug. Didn't see who it was. It looked like someone got sound bug there. 11 to 84. 2 to 1 for Space Marines. Not sure if they can maintain it though. Chaos have some big armies. More Terminators up for Ural. They're getting their natural back. And they still have the mid, so this might be it anyway. They champion runs. This is Pedro, level 5, this guy. Las Cannon Pred and a normal Pred trying to trade with the Nurgle tanks. Those Nurgle tanks are tough. There's the cap, there's the 2 to 1. Power Fist versus Plague Fist in the mid. GG from the Tenso. Looks like it was Tunnel Snake that had the sound bug, but they're still there. Didn't go down yet. 1 to 1. And the Space Marines pull this around. Oh, here come Chaos Terminators to say no. Just cleaving through that stuff. Holy crap, those Stone Guard died so quick. But a Nurgle nuke on the stairs for some reason. Maybe they thought they were going to retreat back there. Venerable Dreadnought still around. Orbital on the mid. Can they get something on blue team's natural to see this out? Here comes a Venerable Dreadnought to smack some stuff at the end of the game. There's the Emperor's Fist. Orbital does a decent job. Knocks them off the cap. Those Terminators took a lot of damage as well because they can't retreat when they're lifted into the air to reduce damage. Stoicism up for the Venerable Dreadnought. And down it goes. Terminators teleporting in for Ural. Getting that demoralization effect on kill. Blade Champion goes for the cap now. There's Aura of Decay. And there's the game. It was a single cap at the end because of this decap here from Pedro. Space Marines just really couldn't get going. Had a decent start when they pushed through, but once the triple Plague Champions got tier 2, they really solidified the mid. Very solid play. We had a level 4 Tech Marine, a level 3 Force Commander, level 2 Apothecary. Should have stayed back with customized Stormbolter, I think, maybe. Level 4 Plague Champion, repairing a Land Raider there. Level 6 Plague Champion. Did they all have fists? They did. And a level 6 Plague Champion for Ural. Awesome stuff. Fun game. Frantic. That massive fight we had down here was... Look at the amount of bodies. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to the Tenso, I think, for running another Faction War lobby. And for these guys for giving it a go. Giving us something fun to watch. I'll see you next time, guys.